Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got Bert over here on my right, and you know me, it's your boy Lanny, and we can't wait to talk to you about big dividend news that happened this past week.
You know the drill, everybody, by now. Smash that subscribe button if you're not following us, and give us that thumbs up. Every subscription and every like makes a huge difference and helps this YouTube community grow. So thank you for all your support, everybody. We really appreciate it.
This past week kept that momentum going. As a dividend investor, this was another big dividend news for you. And we can't wait to dive into not one,
not two, not three, not four, but 5 dividend increases that happened during the last week. Because if you haven't realized it by now, and if you're not watching all of our videos, dividends are back, baby. That's what we're talking about. Companies are once again increasing their dividend and giving you additional passive income and dividend income that will help you reach financial freedom.
So we're going to go over 5 dividend stocks that have grown their dividend. Some may have been ones that we expected, some may have been ones that we did not expect, which means overall this was great and positive news. And as Bert said it, as a dividend investor, you own dividend stock not for just to sit there, but you own it so that income grows by itself automatically, so you can sit at home in your tidy whities and enjoy a nice beer on the beach.
Yeah, and if you're not doing that, you can at least go to sleep and then wake up in the next morning with more dividend income because that company announced that dividend increase the next day.
So to kick things off, we're going to first start off with the biggest surprise, at least that I found amongst the dividend community.
I would agree. I think this one caught me off guard too, which is great news because that makes this way more fun when we're just as shocked as all of you.
Bert loves the boneless wings and a Brewster and watching the Cavs game play.
Yeah.
So this company, Darden Restaurants, ticker symbol DRI, came in with an not even out of left field or center field. This one is from the parking lot rafters with a huge dividend increase that was well over double digits. Bert, what did they do?
They increased that dividend from 30 cents per share to 37 cents per share.
Boing.
So that is a 23.3% dividend increase for those of you that have your calculators out right now. Think about that for a second. Earlier in the year, we were struggling to get any dividend growth. In fact, dividends were going backwards at the beginning of the year. Now Darden's coming in and saying not 1%, not 2%, kidding. They're doing a 23% dividend increase.
I wonder if taking the never-ending possible out of the equation allowed them to keep enough capital to increase that dividend.
I love it, and it's a great sign because think of the sector that they operate in. They're back, they're increasing their dividend once again. Hopefully things have settled down and cash flows for the restaurant sector are starting to stabilize.
So congrats to all you Darden restaurant shareholders and all the boneless wing, chicken quesadilla, chicken and shrimp skillet eaters out there.
Don't forget those breadsticks.
The breadsticks at the OG, and I'm not talking about the original gangster, but the Olive Garden. I'm Italian, so I may not frequent there as much.
You frequent there daily is what I think you meant to say.
Yeah, I'm about to whoop this kid's ass right now.
Now we're on to dividend stock number 2. It's not as high profile as Darden, but it is Amgen, ticker symbol AMGN.
Yeah, they're no Pfizer. They're no Moderna right now with the coronavirus vaccines. But this is another huge pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, and they announced they didn't do the 23.3% dividend increase that Darden had, but they announced a very strong and a very solid 10% increase in their dividend. They increased that dividend from $1.60 to $1.76 per share.
Huge. I mean, that's a massive dividend increase. And one thing I've noticed within this industry alone, because you remember Bristol Myers, Abbott, AbbVie, all these larger companies that really weren't doing much with the coronavirus vaccine, those companies were jacking up that dividend. I think Abbott had a 25% increase. Bristol Myers had 8+% increase, and we may even have another one on this list today.
So stay tuned for that 5th dividend stock when we get to that point, because this sector is not done.
So on fire, double-digit increase from Amgen, ticker symbol AMGN again. Congrats, that's huge. The pharmaceutical industry has been doing very well. Obviously has not gone away, and if anything, they're all involved in this pandemic one way or another.
Moving along here, we got dividend stock number 3 here. We actually have a dividend king that just announced a dividend increase, and they are in that rare group of dividend kings that are not dividend aristocrats.
This is one of Bert's favorite companies to talk about sometimes.
It is never one of my favorite companies to talk about, except for this video, because we're talking about a dividend increase here. The company is ABM Industries, ticker symbol ABM. Why I don't like talking about them? It's pretty simple. They are the rare combination of a low dividend yield stock and a low dividend growth rate, which is not at all a combination that we like to see.
What yield would you buy them at?
Not what they're yielding now, but if they were in the 3 to 4% range with the dividend growth rate, I would strongly consider, because I like the industry they operate, because they are one of the largest parking operators and large janitorial companies out there. So, as I mentioned, they have that low dividend growth rate. Lanny, what did they deliver shareholders last week?
Those shareholders woke up. First, they were getting 18.5 cents per share per quarter. That 18.5 cents went to 19 cents, or a 2.7% increase.
That's a lot lower than $1 billion.
Yeah, not $1 billion, but...
Again, this is why I don't like this stock, and I don't like following this stock. They only announced a 2.7% dividend increase, which is right in line with their 5-year average dividend growth rate. So they stayed consistent. I just don't like that consistent dividend increase.
ABM is one of those boring companies that's not going to be sexy out there. Not like Pfizer currently, not like your Microsoft or Apple. They're parking lots and some other different
cleaning services.
Cleaning services. So it's a very mixed bag that they are involved in. Their yield is well below 2%.
So they will not be parking their dividends in my portfolio.
There you go, Bert said it. Now finishing up with ABM, let's move on to dividend stock number 4. And dividend stock number 4 is one that we talked about in the expected increases video that Bert writes monthly on the Dividend Diplomats blog. Check that out if you don't currently go and read our stuff there. But we also did a video on the expected increases. Now, Franklin Resources, ticker symbol BEN, is the company that just came out with another dividend increase. Now, was there something different about this one?
So what was different and what could potentially have been different here with Ben's dividend increase is the fact that they follow the standard in the asset management and mutual fund sector of the unique dividend increases annually, but also the periodic special dividend. They announce special dividends every 4-ish years. They announced one in 2014, one in 2018. So Landy and I were asking, is 2020 that year where the company is also going to announce a special dividend and reward shareholders?
Obviously, that didn't happen this year in 2020. It was only a dividend increase. And because of the industry that Ben is in, or Franklin Resources, the competitive nature right now amongst the investment asset management firms is very intense. You've got the big players in T. Rowe Price, Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. Franklin Resources needs to do whatever they can to maintain their customer base. Now, that doesn't mean that Franklin Resources is a bad stock to own. In fact, they yield almost 4.5%. You've got an above average, yield right there. Plus, you're getting dividend growth year after year.
They have a clean balance sheet. They don't really have any debt on their balance sheet either. To Landy's point, that doesn't mean that they're a bad company just because they only announced a 3.7% dividend increase and no special dividend. They're just in a tough sector right now, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, especially since last year a lot of the brokerages got rid of trading fees, and they're trying to figure out how to continue growing their revenue streams without charging people to trade. Great for people like us buying stocks. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out for the company.
So that's 4 stocks so far. Again, to recap, we had Darden Restaurants, then we had Amgen, followed by ABM, and then Franklin Resources at number 4.
So number 5, we're going to come back to that pharmaceutical sector for Eli Lilly, ticker symbol LLY. This was the one company we were expecting to increase their dividend this month. We didn't know when it was coming, but they announced a major dividend increase this last week.
Huge dividend increase here from this pharmaceutical. It's exciting news to see, just rewarding back to shareholders. Eli Lilly really stepped up to the plate, really with Amgen, Abbott, Bristol Myers, and AbbVie. And Bert, what was Eli Lilly's dividend increase?
They announced a 14.9% dividend increase, increasing that dividend from 74 cents per share to 85. They're closing in on that $1 and should get there in a few years at the rate they're increasing this dividend.
Again, that's a 15% rounded dividend increase. That is massive. So Eli Lilly, I love it.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
And so as you can see, as we continue to summarize and bring these forward, it's just awesome seeing dividends coming back. It's so much fun reading about dividend increases. How much more fun are dividend increase videos versus dividend cut and suspension videos that we were doing earlier when we launched our channel? This is great. We may not have actually received any of these dividend increases because I don't own any, and I don't think Lanny owns these companies
I don't own a
either.
single one of these 5.
Yeah, but look how excited we are. It's not just about us, it's about everybody in the community receiving this increase in their passive income as well.
So for all you viewers out there, please share in the comments below what stocks on this list of 5. Again, we had Darden Restaurants, we had Amgen, ABM Industries, Franklin Resources, and Eli Lilly. How many of these do you own, and which ones are you watching if you don't own? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and please, again, if you aren't subscribing and you like what we continue to bring you on our YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up so we can continue spreading the dividend news to everyone.
Again, this is Bert and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.